Hi guys, German Prepper here. War rages across Ukraine, with all fronts currently being contested and bombs continuing to rain down on Ukrainian cities far from the front lines. Energy and water infrastructure across the country are being methodically taken out. The situation in Bakhmut to the east and Kherson to the south remains dire, with non-stop battles playing out. Jonas Gahr Støre, Prime Minister of Norway, has announced the country is upgrading the military alert level starting today. The armed forces will reduce training time and increase time on operational duties, while the Home Guard, a rapid deployment force, will play a more active role. The Air Force has suspended training with F-35s in the United States, preferring to keep them in Norway. The US has reportedly announced at a closed NATO meeting that it will accelerate the deployment of an upgraded version of the B-61, the B-61-12 tactical nuclear weapon, to NATO bases in Europe, with the new weapons arriving at European bases in December 2022, several months earlier than scheduled. The Polish Senate has passed a resolution calling the Russian authorities a terrorist regime. We might also note that in May, the entire Lithuanian parliament, and in mid-October, members of the Estonian parliament, previously recognised Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. This sets the legal framework for potential coordinated intervention to a greater level in the Ukraine conflict for these states in the weeks or months to come. The Russian Federation State Duma, or lower house, has approved in its third and final reading law which lifts the ban on the conscription of citizens convicted of serious crimes which equate to more than 5 years in prison. Therefore, those who have recently served a prison sentence are now able to be sent to war, including those convicted of robbery and drug trafficking. The new law includes people who were released less than 8 years ago for serious crimes or less than 10 years for particularly serious crimes. Sergei Shoigu, Russian Federation Defense Minister, has announced on state television that the partial mobilization announced in September has been completed. Shoigu stated 82,000 conscripts have already been sent to the war zone and 41,000 have already joined military units, while another 218,000 are in training centers. The United States Department of Defense, or DoD, has announced the authorization of a presidential drawdown of security assistance valued at up to $275 million to meet Ukraine's critical security and defense needs. This authorization is the Biden administration's 24th drawdown of equipment from DoD inventories for Ukraine since August 2021. Capabilities in this package include additional ammunition for high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, 500 precision-guided 155mm artillery rounds, 2,000 155mm rounds of remote anti-armor mine, RAM systems, more than 1,300 anti-armor systems, 125 high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicles, HMM-WVs, small arms and more than 2,750,000 rounds of small arms ammunition, 4 satellite communication antennas. There we are, guys, just another day to report on the growing conflict in Europe. A final caution for you now. I was out on a walk yesterday at a fairly out-of-the-way castle ruin and came across on 2 separate occasions American tourists. I spoke briefly with each, and they were both newly deployed service members sightseeing with their families. They confirmed the US is surging military deployments to Europe, and while they were sensibly very cautious to discuss their deployment, both agreed the situation is looking very bad indeed. A question for you all now to end. If you could only buy one more prepping item before events turn nasty, what would it be? As always, looking forward to reading your answers. Keep prepping, guys. Cheers for now.